Okay.
Let's give it a
Okay.
couple seconds.
Are we streaming?
Yeah, it's
Okay, I see it.
Wait, can I start talking about Pornhub again? Am
one
I
second.
back?
Okay, we're
All right,
back.
let's
We're
see.
back.
We're back.
Just to
We're back.
answer a quick question on why I'm not streaming, I just don't have the layout and everything set up. I don't have the right version of OBS to do what we're doing, so
Oh, we're
that's
back.
all.
Okay. So wait, I was on Pornhub,
I didn't
right?
have time to set it up before the cast. And yes, you were talking about Ornhub.
Okay, jump back into it. I think Overeem and Hamilton can beat any mid and jungle in the duo, but I'm kind of worried about the rest of their lanes getting shit on. To be honest with you, Forever Alone is a good player, but yet again, coin flip two players that we don't know, and they're really, really low on the point and rank scale. So it's kind of
Yeah,
sketchy for me on Pornhub.
just an update on that point. Their total points is 89, and the next lowest total points is 94. So they're way below the max points on their roster.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going into the second uh, tier.
Yeah,
or-
moving up to
Yep.
second place. I guess this one's pretty controversial. Where the other players put it, Vortex. I put Vortex up here just because I couldn't really. They were basically the team I had trouble placing, and I was just kind of going through the list and thinking, do I think this team would beat this team? Do I think this team would beat this team? And I just kind of think they're better than Yeet in several points. I think basically Mr. Diddles in the top lane, or Rick Salas, whatever you want to call him, he's got a pretty big leg up on Joseiden D5 versus Plat 5. I think Loker versus Ropey, even though Ropey's got a advantage, I think Loker's shown to be a really strong jungler even at Plat 2. And I think their bot lane with Man Walrus is going to be really strong as well in a D5 ADC. So I think they're just really solid overall in pretty much all their positions. The only question mark for me is they have a P4 mid laner, but I've heard pretty good things about him, even though he wasn't starting. So I'm pretty confident in their team overall.
And I've got IRL second place just because I think their roster is going to be a lot more consistent than last year's IRL. Even though they have a downgraded for mid, they have an upgrade for top lane. They have the same support, the same jungler, and the AD carry is just about as good as Edzy. So I think eventually they'll be better than they were last year. So I'll have them at second place.
And then for me, I have Yeet Street, aka Twitch.tv, JBeezus. I think they're a solid roster. They have, TKrank, Charlie Smells is probably the second best, if not arguably best mid laner in the tournament. Joseiden's a little iffy for me, but Ropey and Charlie Smells are going to be contenders for the best jungle and mid duo. TKrank, my boy, is probably, in my opinion, the best AD carry in the league. And Sharkbait's yet again like a undervalue or a very value player for his points. I don't think he's a gold 2 player at all. So I think this team's really, really, really strong together. And like I said, second place.
Yeah. Moving on to first, I
Bum,
put
bum,
IRL
bum, bum.
Sluts. This is kind of like I guess
one second.
scrim leaked, but I'm not gonna say what they're playing, but by far the strongest team we've scrimmed, I'd say. So for this, but speaking, my team's Goth Boys. If people don't know, the team that already had its roster leaked. Anyways, they got a super strong top laner, as they pointed out before. He's basically tied for the highest rated top laner in the league. He's a really good player. Soto, their jungler, super strong. Blake was actually their mid sub before. They basically just didn't use him because they had sounds, but he actually did play a couple regular season games, and I think he played pretty good. Astrus is pretty good as well. I mean, he's okay, whatever. And then, and then Nahor's obviously been a strong support, been here for a long time. I'd like to point out I kind of feel like I should have put Goth Boys as my number one, considering the other two put their own teams as number one.
Hey,
well.
no
Whatever.
bias here, no bias. Anyways, I have twitch.tv/JBs. It's not my team in any way, as the first seed. I think they're upgrading the jungle overall with Ropey is going to give us a much more mechanically skilled jungler, and I guess more knowledgeable. Even though Drie, of course, is very smart, I think Ropey is just going to be an upgrade overall. And Joseiden, though, he's not quite Ogi, but he's definitely improved from season 2, and will be able to hold his own very well. He solo killed Josephumi quite a few times, who was IRL's top. So, and they have the best AD carry in the league, as Astrus said, and pretty solid support, and the best mid, of course, best mid by far. So,
Wait. Well, I chose my team, IRL Sluts, just because and I'm not even biased. If there was another AD carry on this team, if it was Edzy still, if it was any other AD carry and I was not playing on this team, I'd probably put them first either way. Um, Alex Josefumi, he's a solid top laner. We've seen him like solo kill like by his fate, solo kill a bunch of like actually like really good players. Soto is a strong jungler, like I said, second jungler in the league last season. In my opinion, probably one of the better junglers, best junglers in the season. Haidon Blake is just a strong mid laner. He's solid, consistent. Um, I'm not gonna say anything about me. Probably second best behind TKrank. And
It's pretty good.
in my opinion, Darth Nahor, Daddy, whatever you want to call him, he is the best support in the league. And he's value platform, so I don't know what do you else to say. Pretty sure we're gonna win.
Yeah, I think he's the most experienced support as well. So he definitely
And
brings
he's
a
been
lot.
here for what, like 3 seasons?
Probably since season 1, I think.
God.
At least like
Yeah.
like during season 1 and 2, I remember we played them a lot.
If anything, he definitely has the most denied council applications. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, running is the running leader in that.
Yeah. I'm not sure what his tally's actually at, but I'm sure Rimsky could give me an update on that.
Yeah, and interestingly, we'll have looks like Ropey versus Soto jungle matchup. That's pretty interesting because they were both on IRL at one point, both on Extra Life, so they both played on the same team at one point. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic.
All right, you want to move on to the Plains teams now?
This is gonna be a little awkward to show, but yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Tell me when it's swapped over on the stream.
Which one are we going over? Because APM gods are currently not in one of them. Like one of
Oh
them.
yeah. We'll just ignore them. Whatever.
Teams to watch.
Okay.
They dropped after we fucking made this page, so whatever. Apologies for the language, children.
Yeah, there was one team they were over points and they don't qualify and they said we out. So
Oh, have it on the actual play-ins thing, not teams to watch, so you can show the rosters first.
yeah, the planes tab at the bottom. TKrank.
I'm at the Plains tab.
Okay. I'm just looking at the stream.
Yeah, it takes
All
a
right,
couple seconds.
I guess I might as well talk about them first. The first team we have here is the Goth Boy Click, my boys. So it's me in the top lane, Knight of Zed in the jungle, who is the mid laner actually for Polio Drifters, who almost won a couple seasons ago, but lost in the finals to IRL Sluts when they had Sounds. DTS mid was on Resources last season. Drowsy was also on like basically every player on this team was on a team last season. I think I did figured it out, and every single player on our team was on either one of the 2 relegated teams, or I think we had just Powerfully was on Desolate, which was the lowest rated team that wasn't relegated. So we're hoping it's a superstar roster of the bits and pieces from all those teams.
Yeah, it's definitely a solid roster.
Yeah, they've been pretty solid from what I've seen and heard. So, you want me to go over Bronze Envy, Elo Envy, whatever?
Yeah, sure.
A team I do not know at all, but for top lane they have Dasher64, D5 top laner. For jungle they have Dinosaur, which is another Diamond 5 player. Control Alt KMS mid lane, Diamond 5 player yet again.
Sorry, quick thing, just because from me looking at it at least, can you like zoom it in at all? Just because it's hard.
Yeah, sure. How do I zoom in on Firefox? I never use this browser.
I don't know. I do control and scroll wheel. I don't know if that'll work.
Yeah, try control scroll.
I don't have it. It's not working.
Okay, view zoom.
View zoom.
And just put it to like 200% and show one team at a time.
Okay, cool.
Okay, sorry.
Yep.
Go back to Bronze Low Envy.
Yep.
I'm on 80 carry. Mosi Shusi, Plat 380 carry, and T-Mont DG for Plat 2 support.
This is cancer to see.
I don't think have any of us heard anything about these guys at all.
Yeah. So wait, what the hell just happened to the color?
I'm trying to make it more visible.
Oh, okay. Well, these guys are all from UMBC school I went to, so I know Team on G and I know Dasher 64 pretty well, and I've talked to Control Alt KMS a couple times. They played in CSL, so they're a pretty solid team, and I think they have a good reputation behind them coming from UMBC.
Yeah, I mean UMBC. They have like a collegiate team that's really good. So really good, but at least decent. How about that?
Yeah. And they have one more team that we'll have to show later. That's in the play-ins.
Yeah. I'm sure most people would only know about this team from T-Mont G, who I saw spamming general for the longest time. So that's the only reason I know about them. The next team's actually pretty interesting just because it's a bunch of players you know, but probably did not know. Like this is probably like at least for me like the big reveal team. We got Spell It Chat, Mango Ray, Gasp or Asian on the Discord as I know him, Werpack in the mid lane, who is recently poached, as I've heard people complaining about. Edsy in the ADC and Oldies in support. I don't know Oldies, but pretty much every other player has been like pretty well respected in their role. Mango was by far the best top in the season he played on Polio. I think Warpack's known as being pretty solid. Edsy was like top 3 ADC pretty much every time he's played. So I think overall this team's like definitely like number one in play-ins team for me, or like pretty close to it.
Yeah, they're super solid.
Yeah, they definitely have 4 really good players, and then I mean, what, a silver player to just round. It's support, so I mean, let's be real here. The rest of them are also like really solid, though.
Ooh. Yeah, so moving on to Team Sapphire, UMBC CSL Division 3 champions. They're going to come in here with 52 total points, and they're going to try to out-macro every team in the league and qualify.
Quick comment, just because a shit ton of people are talking about it in the chat. We scouted like every single account we could find of Gasp that other people linked us. We couldn't find any above D4, so that's why he's D4. If anyone actually knows of an account that is higher than that, then they can like shit talk it. But until you link us one, we cannot increase his points from that. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Moving on.
Yep. So Team Sapphire, 52 points, and they're the season 3 Division 3 champions from CSL. So it's a pretty big league. So pretty good achievement from them.
Yeah, they're looking to crush this league with their macro play from CSL. So
yeah,
how that goes. We did tell them that they're very under points, but they're very confident in their macros. So we'll have to see how they do with the rotations on this one, because I'm not too confident in their laning ability.
I'm counting on you, Zonic Boom. Next team.
I'll take this one. Ooh.
You got it.
So this is the bench. We have top lane, my boy. I am the best, Messiah, whatever you want to call him, D5 Kled Prodigy. In the jungle, we have Shimmer. For mid lane, we have Fate, which is just newly picked up after Werpack was poached or left, or whatever you want to call it. For AD carry, we have General Poro, which I don't believe is PP Poro.
Yeah, that's not the same guy.
Yeah,
no.
Gold 2 AD carry. And then rounding out for support is Wei Wei Wei, which is a Gold 3 support.
Yeah. I have no idea who the bottom 2 are. Yeah, I think almost everyone will know who the top 3 are, but or at least who's been around a while. The bottom 2 are pretty big question marks just to get them under points. I think they kind of overshot it considering they're 11 under points, but maybe they could be really good golds. I don't know. Also, this was the team that originally had Werpack mid lane, but due to unfortunate circumstances, now has Fate role swapping to mid lane. So that's a little bit unfortunate for them, but hopefully they'll still be able to pull together to have a good performance.
Have they considered finding a Diamond 5 mid and putting Fate AD carry?
D5.
Yeah, I don't know. They probably could do something similar to that.
Food for thought, bench. Food for thought.
Yeah.
So the next one is Square One, right?
Yeah. The big thing most people are going to see here is the return of Death's Design, who's been missing for like a season and a half now. The Urgot legend.
The Poppy with Ignite and Thunderlord's legend.
Yeah, I did not witness that one, but that sounds. I'm hoping he brings it out in the play-ins then.
In season 2, if you didn't ban that, you got clapped by it.
Oh, was it old Poppy?
No, it was like the current Poppy, but he would just go Ignite and Thunderlords, and he would just like do massive amounts of damage, and no one would know why. But they have a couple of ex Vortex players on here, Pickaxe and Roma. And I think Pickaxe is pretty solid. I think he's really smart. Roma is generally known for playing like ranged supports, like kind of like an e-girl style. And I've seen him in scrim chat a lot, but I haven't actually seen him play. So
Yeah, I've scrimmed against his teams before, but I haven't. I think this is the first time he's actually showing up on a roster.
yeah,
Yeah, this team looks solid to me, in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah, super solid. 98
well-rounded too.
points.
yeah.
If that design gets in, he would now be the highest rated top laner in the league.
Oh yeah,
Because the highest was Joseph Fumi was tied for it at D5. So that's
Yeah.
pretty big for them, I think, as a PowerPoint. And then having a really solid ADC and jungler with it is pretty good. And it's not like their mid laner's like so underpointed that he's gonna get smashed. So like I think they're a pretty good balanced team.
Yeah.
We've got a spicy team up next here. We
Who
got
wants to take this? I'll gladly.
one of
take
you
this
got
one.
it. One of you guys
Go
got it.
for it.
I don't know how to pronounce. I'm gonna say it's Smokesack.
I think that's what it is
Whatever.
too.
Produced by Smokesack. Top lane they have the infamous Pokemon, aka Bags. Jungle they have Fikin, whatever his name is. Mid lane they have I Am Chipmunk. AD carry they have I'm not even gonna try. And support they have Candidate. And this is
Not
my
on the
roster.
Not on the bench.
Not on the bench. this time.
Candidate on the main roster.
Candidate is starting,
Um,
guys.
Yeah, this is the team that I've said I wanted to watch. At the same time, it's like watching with like behind my hands, like looking through my fingers, because I feel like they're gonna mental boom. Just like I don't know, this team looks.
The only thing that's going to
Really
hold them
weird.
together is their incredible coaching from Spectacular, otherwise known as Yangsu. I think that's the main thing that's going to really keep this team together. Really big pickup there. Probably the best coach in the plans, if I had to say.
Yeah, he really delivers on those Thanos lines and really
Yeah.
inspires his team.
This
Yeah,
is,
Really good group memes. He's yeah, I don't know what else to actually say about him.
But do you guys know anything about I Am Chipmunk or Fecon?
Fecon is a player that I've seen. I believe he's in OE. He was a jungler for OE or one of the teams, if I remember correctly. He was solid in Gold Plat, if I remember correctly. But what I do remember is that he is kind of a tilter and kind of a ego player. So if yet again you have Bags, this guy, and Kennedy in the same team, that's why I said mental boom.
Yeah. So
Alright,
moving
moving
on
on.
to our last team in this row, we have Triple Threat Network. This is one of the teams that I don't really know many of the players on it. I'm not sure if you guys do.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know
know a
Shane.
single player.
Shane Speed. He was on Yeet Street for a week or two last season.
Yes. I
They
know.
they initially had like Outbreak 2.0 with Melody and what was the name of their mid laner from season 2? Damn, I forget. But they
I
had
wasn't in
like
season 2.
they had most of their season 2 lineup that got to the finals. But apparently, I guess they changed some things up. Anyways, they got Speed, and Speed's pretty solid.
If Speed and Mango get back in, we're gonna have a lot more shit talk going on the top
Yeah.
lane, that's for sure.
I can't wait to see that. But yeah, I don't think I know anything about this roster, so
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
anybody
they're
else.
pretty underpointed. I know Speed used to be a lot higher rated, so he may be like a really point efficient player right now, but I don't
Yeah.
know enough about the rest of the roster to really comment further than that.
what day is play-ins, by the way? 26, right?
It's on
Yeah.
Saturday. Yep.
Yeah, Saturday the 26th.
All right,
Going
next
on to the
team.
next team. Free. I don't want to. I'm gonna take the name because Fug always messes it up. It's Free TK.
Yeah, I always want to say TK for some reason because I think like Tom Kench or some shit. I don't know. My brain doesn't work right.
This is a roster that I only know one player from. So they have. I'm better on top for top lane. Sniffing you muffins.
You probably
for
know
jungle.
their mid laner. Their mid laner is Posen's brother.
Oh yeah, that's right. I do know the mid laner. So I can't say his name again. I'm gonna say blank. AD carry is opposing and support is clear image.
Yeah, this is another one of those teams we've scrimmed prepping for plans. They actually have performed pretty good. Their points aren't overly high, but I think Opposin's decent for a P3 player. Their support, Clear Image, as I recall, actually played really good for his points. And then their top laner mid are obviously like D4 is pretty high rated as well. Not
Yeah.
too much more to say about this team. I think a lot of people know Opposin and Gearson from if you're from House Party, long-time players in these kind of communities.
The old Vanguard.
And Opposen's telling me that the jungler is muffins, if that helps people know who they are. And yeah, as Rimsky's pointing out, they're the only team that does not have a logo, which is why they have the Prophecy Cup default
Wait,
logo.
no, triple threat network doesn't have one either.
Do they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
my
didn't
bad.
have one either.
I didn't. I'm paying very good attention.
On to our next team. It is Rising Nova Esports.
And no, Nova is not freed.
Yeah,
not a
I
Nova team.
checked. The Nova, as in the banned one, is not on this roster. I was actually shocked that this was not Fats's team because I thought it was going to be Rising, as in like Nova's
Right.
a phoenix, rising from the dead. Kind of unfortunate.
So the top laner is Segovia, jungle Avarice, mid is Saxophone, AD carry is Chimichanga Changa. I can't see the rest of it. And the support is Crescent Halo.
Yeah, Chimichanga Chan. That's it.
Okay.
Very
So-
Desu Kawaii name.
They're a little bit under points, 21 under points. None of their players diamond, by the way. So their team is kind of iffy for me, just because none of them are even like they have one high plat player and it's plat one in the support role.
Yeah, and their point
Yeah.
spread is interesting too.
Yeah, they're two, well, tied for lowest rated players are Jungle and Top. Top is general, as we saw before, like a dump role for points, but Jungle typically is like the second highest rated points role, so it's, I mean, I guess it, oh, sorry, they have a plat 5. I'm like talking on my butt, so I guess that is their second highest, but plat 3 for second highest is pretty low.
I mean, maybe
Especially
they'll
having
have-
flat 5 in the mid lane, I think is going to be a big liability,
Maybe
considering how high rated most mid laners are.
maybe they will have the great, beautiful macro play like the other team, like Sapphire.
Yeah,
Like
this
Sapphire.
is another Sapphire. We're going to be looking for big macro play coming from this team.
We've got one more team to look at, but this team here, APM Gods, they don't qualify. So if you're watching APM Gods, please talk to Rimsky because you don't qualify yet.
Yeah,
You guys
we've
are
had them
3
submit a
points
new
up.
roster like 4 times, and they keep submitting over points every time. So
Well, tragic.
hopefully they'll submit one by midnight. But
Yeah.
as of right now, they're over points.
This is a spicy last roster here. As we
We got
go.
two
Second
rosters.
last,
What do you
second
mean?
last.
scroll
There's
over.
one more at the bottom.
Oak
There's 2
Park.
rosters.
Oh, there's
Wait,
2
hold
more.
on.
Oh, lag.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
TKrank, you're showing.
I'm not used to the screen being so zoomed in. But
8 p.m. gods have fully dropped out, so they're not in at all.
Oh, okay, they fully dropped out. Okay.
Yes. So
Oak Park and River Forest High School.
yeah. So
You've got something to
5, Unbidden Soul 4, Rednecks Games, Turtle, and sheer Hades to top jungle mid
Like,
AD carry support.
This is one of the few teams where Drew Dozer could not only plan it, but also climb a challenger and play on this roster and still be under points.
Right.
So I'm kind of surprised he's not playing. But I guess he's just a coach. He's not here to play in the roster.
Yeah, this is.
As far as I googled it to try and figure out if this is a meme of some sort, but I think this is genuinely just actually a high school.
Yeah,
I think an actual high school just made a team and signed up. so.
I believe in this team. Okay, so you know what? Whoever you guys are watching, I believe in you guys. This I'm not even memeing. I believe in you.
Oh, okay. Rimsky just said that their coach is actually as another sub. He just didn't have enough slots to put another sub. So he's not actually the
Oh,
coach.
God.
Oh, darn.
So he's not sure if he might be playing or not. Yeah.
Even then, it's.
Yeah, as Werpak says, as this team somehow makes it out, put the Smurf sirens on. If they start beating teams left and right, 'cause something's not right.
Right.
The other team, they could macro. I'm not sure if any level of macro play can make 24 points come out on top of the play-ins.
They're just gonna perfect game Gothboy click in the first round, and everyone's gonna be looking like, huh, interesting.
Yeah, this is gonna be. I'm waiting to see them. So
Hey, thanks for the
I guess
follow,
onto the last
Bardinsky.
team.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
last
if anyone
teams.
plays in CL, I think this is CL Gold Plat team, Rabid Raccoons. They've been around for a long ass time, especially Flyers. A lot of people probably know, and Uklar have been longtime members of CL Gold Plat. I think, as I recall, Mad Life Midlaner, Beast Snake, and were all on their roster. I think they literally have just moved their Gold Plat team over to our team to try and take us down, basically. Flyers is pretty underpointed at Gold 1. I think he just doesn't play ranked, but he is a pretty good... Like, I'd rate him as a high plat player from playing against him myself. So I think this team is deceptively good for their
Yeah.
points.
I've played against Flyers in CL before, back when I was a plat player, and Flyers is a solid jungler, and their bot lane is really solid together. Alf and
Oh,
Elkabar.
sorry. Quick statement from Twitch chat. Apparently, Dozer, the D1 player, is actually playing on Park. True Dozer. He's actually their starting mid laner. So that's
Definitely
gonna
helps
Ooh.
them
that's
out a
gonna
bit.
bump up their points a lot. Let me see if I type that in.
So that puts them up to 47
nice.
points. No, 67.
There we go, 67 points. So they're still, I think they're the second lowest points
Yeah,
team
now they're
now
the
at
second
67.
lowest.
So they're not the lowest anymore.
That's,
So maybe we gonna have a sounds level performance coming up from Drew, just the hard solo carry. We'll see.
I'd love to see it.
Sounds and four Kiyoshis versus the world. I'm ready. I'm hyped.
So we're going into teams to watch.
Yep.
There are 4 teams to watch.
I'm gonna take
Oh,
off
you're
the
gonna have to zoom out. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, really.
I made it really big so it would be easier to see.
So wait, I should start, huh? Are we just gonna go name them all off like one at a time, or?
Yeah, we can just
Yeah,
go
just
with all
name
your
all
teams.
yours.
So I'll just start from the bottom. Actually, I've got a whole long name: OP and RF High School. Now they have a D1 mid laner now, 45 points. So I'm actually hyped to watch this. But beforehand, even with the players before, I'm hyped to see if they actually were, bronze and silver and with a plat 380 carry. I'm not saying that they're going to get out, but I'm saying they are a team to watch because their games will be interesting. Next team I have is produced by Smokesack. This is the team I believe that is going to have a mental boom, and it's yet again not a team that I think they won't get out, but I think they'll be interesting to watch because I think they will mental boom. I think one Bags, Candidate, and Fiken on the same team, and Booga's a sub. Hopefully Yangsu can pull together to get them through, but yet again, I think they're gonna mental boom. What's the next team I have? I'm not looking at teams to watch. Gothboy Click. Fug said earlier, we did scrim against them. They are a solid roster. I mean, looking at all their players, I think this is a team that will get out and get into the actual season. They have DTS, Knight of the Zed, which I think 2 of the better players in this whole play-ins tournament. Fug is a solid player. Drowsy and Powerfully, I think, are a little bit lower compared to the rest of the team, but they are solid players. And all together, they just pull everything together. They can easily get into the regular season. And then for my last team, I have the bench. It's my boy. I'm the best. I have to believe in him. I believe in him not only to be an interesting team to watch, but to get out and get into the regular season.
Yo, I'm hyped to see Fate playing mid lane. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. It's, like I said, I was hyped for Wordpack, but I'm even more hyped for Fate, so I want to see their games. I'm going to watch every single one. So, I'm hyped for that.
Yeah, for my teams to watch, I just put the 4 teams I think are most likely to make it out, so are probably most likely to get like stream time, especially during the end of the tournament. I think Spell It Chat, which as a reminder is Mangarway, Wurpak, Edsy all in the same roster, and as Asian as their jungler, who people have said is highly valuable at Diamond 4 points. So I think they're almost certainly going to be like #1 team for me. I put my own team in here, obviously, because obviously I got to think we're doing good. Our scrims have been going pretty well. I think we're pretty well prepared. I think DTS and Knight of Zed especially would be like players to watch in our team. I think they've been playing super good recently and are actually maybe a little underpointed at like D4 and D5. I think they're pretty solid. Bronze Elo Envy I put up there just because that's T Monchi's team. They're at 99 points, so they're like pretty stacked as far as like just Elo goes. And also they're a team that's been playing together for a while, not just here. So they've like a lot of these teams are just kind of assembled for the plans, whereas Team Monchi's team have players that have been playing for a long time together. So I think they have an advantage there, and they're pretty stacked in points, even though I don't know most of their players. And then finally, I put Square One. This is Death Design's team as a reminder. So I don't know other players, but I think iGlory and Death Design are both super solid. And again, they're like a pretty point stacked team. And I think they just have an overall like more solid roster than a lot of the other stack teams like produced by Smokeback and the bench. I think the next highest I'd put up there would be produced by Smokesack. But as he pointed out, I think that I'm not so sure how good their comms are gonna be on that team.
Yeah,
So
big mental boom.
Well, yeah, for my 4 teams to watch, I got the 2 squads from UMBC, Bronze, Elo Envy, and Team Sapphire. I think they're going to do pretty well. I think Team Sapphire has a lot of well, they're going to have to work pretty hard to make it out. But I think Bronze, Elo Envy is certainly one of the better teams in this play-ins, so they're going to be pretty good. They apparently were like almost undefeated until they got eliminated. Gothboy Click, I think they're really solid. They have a couple of players from Polio Drifters in Season 3 who were one of the best teams that we've seen, who mental boomed at the finals in Season 3. But I think that they're super good. I think Nine of the Zed's really good. DTS, I think he's going to be a pretty solid player. And let's see, who's their top laner again? Oh yeah, Fug Nuggler. Fug Nuggler, he's pretty solid. The only issue might be the bot lane. But Drowsy and Doxling are pretty solid, so you don't have too much to worry about. And lastly, we got the Oak Park and River Forest High School, and yeah, now that they have a D1, it's like less interesting, but let's see how they do.
I still think this team is going to be the most interesting to watch out of all the teams. Like, if you get any stream time whatsoever.
Yeah, so we'll see how they do. Let's see if they can put up a fight.
They're going to put up a fight, man. Look, they have Brew, Dozer now mid lane. And the rest of the team is just a bunch of Kiyoshis, okay? I believe in them.
yeah, I think they actually have a plat player on their team, so even higher than Kiyoshi.
Yeah, they have a plat 380 carry.
All right. You guys want to play the Goth Boy teaser quick before we sign it out?
No, give me out.
Man.
Give me out.
Oh man,
Right.
I gotta. Do you have the link for it?
I linked it to you in the review.
Okay, here we go.
Watch this before
Let me see if I wait. Let me see if I can get it to work on YouTube or on Firefox here.
All right. This is a quick teaser I made for it. This is basically probably the better editing I'd say than LCS teaser videos.
Yeah,
pretty
it's
hype.
Definitely better. And all right, here we go. Enjoy.
So if you're not already a fan, this is going to show you why you should be a fan of Goth Boys, like why all 3 of us had enlisted. Here you go, boys. Enjoy.
Introducing the Goth Boy Clique, a new team formed from familiar faces. Team captain Missing Her was last seen as substitute jungler and ADC for Riddle Raiders, who finished an impressive 0-7 season last split, coming in dead last place. To continue his reign of dominance, he's brought with him Riddle Raiders' old top laner, Fug Nuggler. Fug's debut was 2 seasons ago, where he may be remembered dying a lot to Mango Ray after talking big shit, also for flaming Lumi for not ranking him high enough in the power rankings. Next up, in the jungle, we have the mid laner from the dominant Polio Drifters who came second in Season 3, Knight of the Zed. He is now jungling, however, and we don't really have footage of him playing jungle, but I'll just pretend this is Warwick or something. Next, in the mid lane, we have the mid laner from Resources, the only team to have fewer single-game wins than the Riddle Raiders in Season 4, DTS Mid. He as well is looking to extend his mid lane dominance and endlessly flame other mid laners from the safety of Twitch chat. He is well known for being the fat guy in the meme about drinking a bunch of water from the pipe. In the ADC position, we have Drowsy. Not only is he the top lane in 9th place team Resources, but he was also removed from that team later in the split. He is well known for his Akali, and finally, in the support position, we have Doxling, otherwise known as Powerfully. He is a returning player in the starting position of support for Desolate, an actual playoff team. That's right, they actually didn't do that terrible last split. He actually plays his role too. Good for him. All of these players have proved that they are good enough to make it to the playoffs in different seasons, and many of them have already made it through the play-ins themselves. But can they pull it together to be a top team? Only time will tell.
I just noticed you can actually hear my casting in those clips. For some reason, there's sound still on there.
Yeah.
But solid video.
Get hype, boys.
Solid
Get
video.
Oh my. So how are we gonna end this out? How are we walking out of here?
I don't know.
I don't know. You could have just ended it off the video. That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
That would have been a smart way to do it. Actually,
But,
plan it out.
Yeah, I guess we're done.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have fun with your life,
We're gonna
yeah.
be posting all the links to everything in the Discord after this. So if you want to check a peek yourself, make your own power rankings, flame some people in general chat, this is your opportunity to do so. I'm
Yup.
Fug Nuggler, signing out.
And I'm Astrus. I'm out of here.
Yep, and I'm TKrank, and don't forget to watch the play-ins on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and you'll be hearing my voice again. Peace.
Is it off?